What kind of funeral is this? You should all be in tears. Talk about how you miss everything about me.
I know we're supposed to act and feel a certain way when someone dies, but I'm here to tell you that's bullshit. Sorry, Father. You know, he cared more about his work than making a family. I marked my ovulation cycle on his work calendar. Do you know what he did? He sent me a card that said, "Congratulations, graduate."
Still holding on to that, are we? How's that therapy going for you? I think you should get a refund.
Yikes.
This place is practically empty, and I don't know this one? I know. I'm a catch. I bet I rejected her and she killed me.
Oh, you're not my type. And I don't think murder's such a great idea. It's kind of bad.
You can see me?
Yeah.
What do you, I don't know how.
I know you're confused, Wallace. And things can be...
I never told you my name!
It's on the sign with the picture of you at the front of the church.
What? Forget that sign. What is going on here? How is this happening?
You're dead.
What?
You're dead, Wallace. I'm trying to remember. Can't remember exactly what it is. I'm new at this. You know, this is my first time. Oh, I remember. Heart attack.
That's impossible. I've never smoked. I've exercised. My doctor said my blood work was perfect. Maybe a little high blood pressure, but nothing that's going to kill me. That's impossible.
Right. I hate to be a bummer, man, but that's what happened. And Wallace Price, my name is May Ying, but you can call me May. Like the month, only spelled a little different. I'm here to take you home. Huh. I should have led with that. I didn't know it would shut you up.
Hi, everybody. I'm Joe.
And I'm Mary.
And we're Book Buds. And today we're going to discuss another TJ Klune novel, Under the Whispering Door.
We've become huge fans lately. Like
yeah,
this
just
author.
loving his books.
Yeah.
So, Mary, what did you think about this book after having read the Cerulean Sea one?
So the Cerulean Sea, I just loved, adored. It kind of, I feel like it changed me as a reader and what I want from a book. It was just amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
This one was also really wonderful, but it wasn't as amazing as The House in the Cerulean Sea. So I loved the other one so much more, but I still really, really liked this one.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah?
I would agree with that. I was going to say that I was just a little... Like, as I'm reading this book, I'm, like, a little bored or a little, like, something. Like,
take it back.
Well, like, early on.
Okay.
Maybe because I just loved Cerulean Sea that much more, and it was, like, a little bit of a disappointment because, you know, that's what happens.
Right.
But then when I got to, like, the last 100 pages and I finished this book, like, I feel like the last third made up for the entire rest of the book, and it made me, like, appreciate those earlier scenes a little bit more.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I get it. I didn't feel the slowdown like you did, but I think what was different is The House in the Cerulean Sea has characters, many characters that are just like filled with spunk and magical stuff and really kind of hilarious, you know, and it was like this great meshing of all of those people. Yeah. Whereas this one, this one was just a handful of characters and it didn't have that magical component or anything. I mean, yes, he was a ghost and we were experiencing his life as a ghost, but it wasn't like fantasy or anything like that, you know, real true fantasy. But the end for sure was there was a lot more emotion, a lot more action, a lot more things happening that you understood.
A lot, yeah.
So overall what this story is about is Wallace is like this grumpy, terrible, like Scrooge kind of person, which is kind of hilarious right at the beginning. I love how Scrooge-like he is. It's fantastic. Yeah. And he immediately dies. And he's transitioning over to possibly heaven, hell, afterlife. We don't know what. And he meets some interesting characters in like a tea shop. He's taken to a tea shop.
And that tea shop is like pretty much purgatory.
Which is so weird.
And like this concept has been done before, but I feel like he really did something very unique here, no?
I haven't really read about purgatory in a tea shop before.
But like, well, exactly. But just like, you know, this concept has been done so many times in movies and in books and in TV shows, and like I didn't feel like I was reading something that I had seen before or I was just like bored with. It was like a really kind of like a fun new take on it.
Right. And it was very quaint, like you would expect a tea shop to be, you know. Even the afterlife experience, you know, there's just a couple people there. It was cozy. And then you had like real humans that would come into the tea shop that could only see certain of the non-alive human beings.
Right. And
So-
the way that he weaved in like tea into the story, like
Yes.
tea was kind of like very special within the story, and it was like a major theme throughout, and like certain tea leaves were for certain different types of personalities. And that was cool.
And it would like evoke certain feelings in the people. So that's something I want to say just about this author in general is the feelings. I mean, I felt so much when I was reading his other book, The House in the Cerulean Sea, and my heart was just engaged, and I was laughing and I was crying. Same thing with this one. I have to say, my heart was absolutely still engaged. I was still laughing. I was still crying. He just creates beautiful relationships that, and even not just in the main characters. Like there's some other characters that come into the tea shop that are like less important, and your heart is so engaged with those storylines too, right? Where it wasn't yours?
Oh yeah, he's got a real talent for that.
Yeah, you laugh out loud while reading him, right?
I totally laugh out loud.
Which is hilarious because a while back we had like a tag to do, and one of the questions was, what book makes you laugh out loud? And you were like, I've never ever
laughed out loud at a book.
And now consistently with this author.
Yeah. What do you think of his humor? Because like I find like his humor to be like,
it's like playful.
It's playful, but like I can't even explain it, because it's definitely like something like I've heard before and I've seen before, and to me it plays out in my head like a sitcom, like a funny like show, and like I could so see these characters saying it, and I could almost predict what they're gonna say. So it's not like he's like reinventing the wheel. He's using like humor that has been used before, but it's still like, it's so funny.
It's really funny. Like the laugh just erupts out. You can't help but laugh out loud. But when you said sitcom, like we're always thinking, should this book become a movie? This book should be a sitcom, like all his books should be.
Yeah.
He's fun. And
I'm definitely merging his books in my head, because his humor like goes
consistent
throughout.
And I've now read 4 different books of his, I think.
Yeah.
And like you do get kind of like the same vibe through all of them, but I'm enjoying it tremendously.
Oh, it's our style.
Yeah.
We love
Very
it.
fun.
Yeah.
So have you guys read any TJ Klune? I'm curious, like what's the general feeling about him? Have you read just The House in the Cerulean Sea? I mean, we read that and we were like, we got to read more.
So we love him so much that we went to the library, and Mary made the librarian like purchase one of his earlier books for us, like just for us.
Because I was like, well, I don't really feel like going and buying this, and the library should have more of his books.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe the whole county system didn't have this particular book. So I was like, do you want to buy it for me? And they did. It was fantastic.
That's great. I didn't know you could do that.
Yes. So I read that one, and he's going to be reading that one.
Yes.
And I'm really excited that we've been reading him so much lately, because here we are in Pride Month. It's June, and it's so nice to have such positive representation of gay characters. I love it.
Yes, and about that, I really find it refreshing that he writes about gay characters like they just exist.
Yeah.
Like there's no tragic coming out. There's no like being disowned by your family. Like it just exists,
just a fact.
and everybody accepts it.
Uh-huh.
And it's just, he just writes like that, and I'm like, oh, this is cool. This is different. I like it.
Yeah, it's just there and totally acceptable. It's awesome.
We love it.
So thank you, TJ Klune, for being so awesome. Really seriously love you. What else?
Well, I have some notes here. Should I
Do
get
you
to
have
them?
more notes? We said so much. Don't spoil anything.
Okay. So I think that he has like awesome like his lines. His lines are just like so meaningful.
Okay.
So like, do you remember when Nelson was talking about
Nelson's a grandfather, a ghost. Okay.
when he was talking about his wife and the dirty socks, and how she would always leave her dirty socks lying all around the house,
And it would goosebumps.
and it would aggravate him, right?
Yes.
So like he would always like, you know, be on her about it, and like one day he came home and like the socks weren't there, and he was like, oh, is she finally picking up after herself? And he finds out that she like unexpectedly died.
Mm-hmm.
And so he was like telling that story, and he was like, you know, he'd give anything to come home to those dirty socks now. You know, she used to say life is more than dirty socks.
Mm-hmm. And it's things like that. There's so many throughout the book that you just like, I have goosebumps, that you'd want to tear up a little bit, you know? Really just moving stuff. I don't know how he writes like this.
I know.
Really well done.
I know.
And
then,
funny at the same time. I mean, come on.
Yeah, everything's mixed in.
I mean, that wasn't funny.
And then Nelson and Wallace had an exchange, and, you know, it's never enough, is it? Time. We always think we have so much of it, but when it really counts, we don't have enough at all. And then Wallace says, then we make the most of it. Like, it's just like little gems that he just drops. And like, if you really just stop to like really absorb it instead of just glazing over it. Sometimes when I read, I'm going to be honest, I'm kind of like, if I'm really in the story or not, I'm just like glazing through it sometimes.
Right.
Or like just like rushing. His books, I want to take my time and really absorb all these amazing things that he's telling us.
I mean, because there's transformation in character for sure happening throughout the book. And so some of those statements that are happening, maybe they happen in the beginning and they don't impact the character so much. But as you go through the book, like those same statements might come back again, and he's like, okay, I'm getting it, you know, and you feel the meaning more as you're growing with the character when he's growing.
Yes, and I love how he does repeat it throughout.
Yes.
Like he'll take something like one of these and just keep repeating it throughout the whole book as
and
a
to
theme.
give it like a stronger meaning as it goes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
So we're not going to talk about that scene at the end? Where
No, we're not going to talk about the scene at the
over-
end. Shush!
That was such a good scene.
I know, it's such a good scene. So meaningful. So if you guys read it, do you know that scene at the end? He just said when he's over, right, that's all we're going to say.
That's such a good scene.
We don't want to spoil anything.
I really want to talk about it.
Don't do it. Okay, so let us know, guys. Have you read it? Are you going to read it now? We'd love to hear your thoughts.
I think you should read it. I think you'll love it. And his covers are amazing. Look at the book cover.
They really are.
That next one, you saw that, right? The puppet?
Yes, I can't wait for his puppet book. That's coming out when? Like very soon, July, I think.
No, next year.
Stop it.
2023.
Here I was getting all geared up for it.
I know.
23? I didn't read that last part. Now I'm sad.
I know, but we have a lot to catch up on before
We do. We're going to read his other stuff.
So if you're enjoying Book Buds, give us a thumbs up.
And share us with your friends.
And subscribe to our channel, Book Buds!
I was up all night reading this book. I loved it.
A lot of wind.
Mary, we're here! No, that wasn't a go. That was
You were excited.
yeah, I was like, oh my God, are you real? It's been so long. Has it been
Three-
2 full weeks?
It's been 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
3 full weeks. Like
Ugh.
3.5 weeks. Almost 4.
Oh my God.
I know.
That's
I'm
a
sorry.
semester and a half.
Okay, so we love him. Okay, ready? And I'm really excited that we've been reading him so much lately. You look bored. Ready? And I'm really excited. I knew you were going to do it.
You know me. All right. Well, if you've been in...
Do that again.
All right, so if you've been enjoying Book Buds, give us a thumbs up. If you've been enjoying... What is that? I never
don't
said
know
that
what you're
before.
doing.
We're out of practice.